After how many hours have you gone through?
Well, looks like it started, right? Now you have people would have time.
I'm like, wait a minute. All right, we'll call the meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right on for roll call. Katie said she will be here, but it'll take a bit, so she'll be along shortly. Additions to the agenda.
So, Mr. Chairman, just as clarification, New West students will be, early graduates will be presenting during the school spotlights and student celebrations.
Excellent.
We'll finish, we have several celebrations through that. Mr. Corbin will be the last to go in that section.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else got anything? Additions, order, agenda? All right, hearing none. Next up, we've got board officer elections. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to the superintendent. The board will nominate officers from the floor. We'll start with president or chairman, and when that's done, he'll take over or she will take over and move us through the rest of the officer elections. Are there questions about the format or anybody got anything? Mr. Superintendent, if you would.
All right, so I will turn it over. It is open for nominations for chairman of the board.
Can I do one? I would like to nominate Travis. I just want to say these past 2 years as you chair, you've dedicated a ton of your time and you've grown, and I really just think you've done a great job, and I would like to continue down this road that we're on right at the moment. It's been good. I love it. I like this. So.
Thank you.
And so I would echo that. Travis, you've done a great job. The meetings are going well. You work well with Travis. You keep everybody informed. Just for continuity.
Work well with Charles. Work well with Charles.
Yes. What did I say?
Travis.
Work well with Travis. Well, he does work well. Yeah. So I echo that.
Thank you.
I'd like to nominate Lynette. I think Travis and her work well together, and she's a long-standing board trustee, and I'm excited for where we're going, and I think she's played a big part in paving that way on that road, so I would like her in as well.
Okay, is there any other nominations at this time? With that being said and looking around, nominations are closed. So I will start. I'm going to ask that you show a raise of hands. All those in favor of Travis, please raise your hand. All in favor of Lynette? Okay. Travis, you're 6, Lynette 2.
Thank you.
So I want to, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to speak. This is always a very awkward position to nominate, but I am super proud of you as a board of trustees to be able to have these conversations. And I would agree with everything that was said. you guys are clicking, all right? The one thing that I don't want to see lose momentum is the good things that you got going on as a board. We've seen it at last week's work session. You as officers and just the board as a whole have dedicated a lot of time to making this happen. So I hope we can continue this journey and honestly only get stronger. I mean, I don't want to plateau. I don't want to just say, okay, good, we're just going to be where we're at. I think there's still a lot of things that I can do to improve my relationship with you as a board of trustees, and that direction that was demonstrated last week when we did the governor's leadership. So kudos to you as a board. So with that being said, Travis, you are the chairman for the 26th school year, and you may take back over, and that makes my job easier.
Very good.
Because I don't want to run the rest of the meeting.
Thank you. So next up, we've got our vice chair. I would accept nominations, please, for vice chair.
So I would nominate Lynette. Lynette, you've done a great job. You go to everything that you can possibly go to. You stay informed and proud of what you do, the work that you're doing for the district. Thank you.
I would grab the floor to second that. Lynette, I couldn't have done any of this without you. You've been a fabulous teammate and a huge rock that I've leaned on so often. So I would love for you to continue where you're at. Other nominations for vice? Hearing none, all in favor of Lynette continuing, signify by saying aye. Wait a minute. Aye. All right. Next up, we need our treasurer. I'd accept nominations for treasurer.
Who wants to be treasurer? I
Don't all jump at once.
I mean, I'm happy to stay. I don't know, I can't really nominate myself.
No, but
I
I'd be
would
glad.
nominate Casey as treasurer.
I would second that. You've done a great job and we could continue to use your help. Other nominations for treasurer? Hearing none, all in favor of Casey, signify by raising your hand. All right.
But just for clarifications, that's not a super hard job. So when we ask who wants to do it, you're doing a great job.
The best part is working with Connie.
Yep.
Okay, and then we finally need a secretary.
Marcia, do you want us to continue that?
It doesn't matter to me. I don't read, have you shown interest in this? Because I'd happily pass the envelope if you would like to take on some handwriting skills.
And my take on it, guys, is I think as different board members get on board and they serve in different committees, I think it helps us as a board so everybody knows, you know, what the positions are.
What they do. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. For that reason, yeah, I would accept that.
Okay,
A nomination.
I would nominate Reed then. I'm just nominating the board tonight.
And I would, you know, and I can't second it, but I would back it up. Reed, you're the same way. Since you came on board, you go to everything you can go to. You're very instrumental. You're a sharp guy, and I know you'll do a great job at it. So.
And I have really good handwriting.
Wait a minute, maybe we better check that out before we nominate you.
Anybody else? Any other nominees? Okay, all in favor of Reed, filling in, signify by saying aye. All right, thank you. Good show. All right, Mr. Superintendent, next up, we've got community service celebrations.
Okay, so let's go through that. Travis, you want to explain why we added this?
Yeah, we brought this one in because a lot of our community sees us when we run around and say, hey, we're selling light bulbs and we're selling popcorn and we're selling and we would like you to support. So I brought this to the first part of the board meeting because I wanted to, spotlight some of the times that we come back as a school district and as individual buildings and do some giving back, come back to our community, and we try to help them too. I just wanted to have this as part of our meeting so that we could focus on some of these real success programs. Dr. Hanson's Wood program has been a great one. We've got several coming up we'll hear about. So that's why it's here. That's why we put it up in front. We've got a lot of really neat things happening, and I wanted a chance for the building leaders to be able to tell us about those.
Yeah, so with that, if you go through the agenda, what we have here, just as just pull it back up. Dr. Hanson, what they did with New West, it started with the wood we had Maggie who had also put in the cleanup or the community service they did, but really spotlighting it as a district rather than not individual schools. So what you'll see in the board agenda is there's several things that are outlined there. Buffalo High School, the middle school, CPS, KC all have things that look like Meadowlark holiday meal. There's pictures involved in that. The community, the leadership community helpers, the Compass Good News. I mean, there's some really interesting and some amazing things. I don't know if you as a board of trustees want to go through each one of them, but I would encourage all the stakeholders and community members that are online or with us here tonight just to look at those, all the things we are doing in collaboration with this community. So Casey Thanksgiving helped 1, 2, and 3. So there's 3 of them through that process. And honestly, this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg with everything that we do. So recognizing what we're doing and connecting to our community, I think is a great opportunity for you as a board. So
I agree entirely. I see Katie and Reed were running around at a Meadowlark holiday meal. You guys want to tell us what was going on there?
Slinging beans.
Nice.
and there was no competition whatsoever that day, people.
Not at all, but our line was.
One side of
It
it,
was better.
one serving line was definitely better than the other.
There was an advantage.
One was chosen inaccurate. Nothing to do with it.
No, he's right. One side was better than the other.
And it was our side.
One overserved.
Okay, the next one is the Christmas lights on downtown Main Street.
Yes.
So we had Mr. Corbin, Mr. Glassick, and Mr. Hansen who helped with that. You'll see their amazing pictures and their collaboration. So, and nobody got hurt, so that was even better.
Fabulous. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time and effort. And we got the holiday lights up and running. They look great.
Well, we got them hung. They weren't necessarily running until about a week later. So.
Yeah, I'll roll it in as well.
I will say that was the fastest the downtown lights had been, I guess, put out.
Yeah.
The hanging took a little bit longer than deal, but if you don't, I didn't realize this till 5 years ago. The Kiwanis organizes all of this. It's all a volunteer basis. So there are a lot of people, a lot of bucket trucks that put up the lights. It's organized. It's only got better. I will say this is one of the better hangings because it was actually warm out and the wind wasn't blowing or it wasn't sub-zero. So it was a pretty neat event. Next one, Travis, is I put it in there. What our parent liaison and our family parent Compass for Family is doing is pretty amazing. So that connection with 110 families for Thanksgiving through BHS, but they are record numbers of 171 children for the Giving Tree. And just the number of people that they've reached out to has almost tripled in connections through this holiday season. So they're really connecting with families, which is exciting, and getting them, connected with the right community organizations. And then you'll notice in there, due to the work they did last year, Langston gave them $1,500, not us. But with that work, they've upped that to $4,500 to help some of these families and struggling kids. Wow. So
that's neat.
Again, they felt what they donated last year or gave to the program was well worth it, so more money was given. So that's exciting news with that.
That is exciting.
Mr. Chair.
Please.
I would just like to say, when we, as board members, attended the WSBA and we had our breakout session, I had people at my table from Converse County, Uintah County, Bighorn, or Claremont 3, and another district, I don't remember. But we had just a short ditty of a time to go over like certain sections that we were focusing on, and one of the pieces that we talked about was the parent liaison program that goes on in Johnson County. And I had several members feedback from a lot of different people at this conference, and they were like, really wanted to know more, like what could that look like in different communities throughout our state. And this is a valuable thing for our community and for our district and for our kids. And I'm ever so grateful to partner with Compass for Family. And I'm very grateful. Kim Pope is the liaison, and she has an uncanny connection to this community, and it's done amazing things for families, and it's done amazing things for kids. And so I'm just really proud of us as a district that we are able to offer something like this for our kids in our community. So go Buffalo.
Yeah.
So KC, Thanksgiving help.
Yes.
You guys want to give a little detail here?
I think that's just pictures of the FFA prepared food boxes.
Oh, okay.
So FFA worked with Compass actually to identify the families that needed Thanksgiving meals, and they put boxes together for those specific families. So again, some more great work with Compass, but also that our FFA kids worked hard to put them together.
Good. Very good. You got anything else on there that you want us to take a minute and look at? All right. Next up, we got schools, spotlight and student celebrations. I understand we'll start with some celebrations.
So let's start out with BHS and then KC Student Council.
Okay.
And then Dr. Hanson, you'll be up.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm here to celebrate some swimmers and divers. And actually, Coach Moses, right behind you, Mr. Oski, could probably speak a little more to this. But I have some words here from Mr. Caleb Cahoon, our head coach. We have Horizon Hansen, diver, and Milan Montrestelli are 2 all-state swimming and divers. All-state honors, so that's pretty darn cool. But to talk a little bit about each one of these kids, Horizon has been diving for the last 3 years and has just recently signed on to go to UNC D1 school to dive.
Awesome.
And Milan here has broken the school record for the breaststroke, okay, that's been held since 1999, and is now the current owner of the state record.
Awesome.
So, Mr. Coach Cahoon says both these ladies have worked hard this past year, and I know that their hard work will be successful in whatever they put their minds to. Coach Moses, would you have anything to add for these two?
I just like, for the swimmers, I think it's a swim family. It's not just a sport. All the parents are very supportive of all of our girls. Playing time is not an issue as long as you're doing your job in the pool. You get to swim your 2 events, most likely 2 relays. Obviously, divers, they don't really swim. They do their 6 dives at normal meets, and 11 dives is your conference in your state. So to get those 11 dives is a big thing. Get up there and do them all correctly is a huge mental challenge also on top of that. And I just want to point out, like with Horizon, I don't think there's been a girl from Buffalo High School that's ever gone on a scholarship for diving before, yet alone to a D1 school. And for Milan, I've seen her growing up in the pool since she was really little, and she has just excelled greatly every year. And as a freshman, to be able to break a record for the school and the state record is huge. So I'm really excited to see how the next 3 years goes for her. I think she's an awesome athlete, just like I think Horizon is an awesome athlete too. I just wish I could have had Horizon all 4 years. I can't even imagine what she would have accomplished in 4 years versus just the 3 years that I had her. But they're both amazing athletes. I couldn't be happier with them or prouder.
Well,
Coach Cahoon could not make it tonight because guess where he's at?
Coaching.
That's right, USA Swim. Thank you.
KC.
Tonight we have our student council body here, a few of our student body. So Mr. Sipes going to stand up and talk. This is our student council sponsor. We recently went to WASC in Cheyenne and we came back with some very prestigious awards that I'd like them to be recognized for. So you're up, Mr. Sipes.
Below them 6'5", 300-pound guy standing in front of them, so I'll move over here. Yeah, first of all, kudos to the two swimmers from Buffalo. Those are huge achievements, and as a big sports fan and coach, that's awesome. Yeah, so we went to State Student Council last this year, and I knew I had a great council anyway because these guys were making plans this summer for welcoming the other kids back and decorating the school and doing stuff before I even had a chance. I called Cruz up and I'm like, hey man, I've been thinking about that. He's like, oh yeah, we got a plan. We got a meeting set up. We're ready to go. So that's the kind of kids these guys are. I have 3 of my 6 officers today. Cruz Garcia is our president. Kaylor Molson is our treasurer. Millie Furnicase is our secretary, and then I have Hadley Garcia is our reporter, and then our vice president is senior Elena Davis, and we have an honorary homeschool student that is on our board, Miranda Ford, who's been really involved for someone who's not even at our school the whole time. So they've been awesome all year. We went to WASC. We were one of the 12 schools, including Buffalo, that was recognized as council with honor council with meritorious distinction. So that was cool, and that's, I mean, you got to put a lot of work in to get to that level, and then you got to document it all and submit that, and they did a great job. So part of the kudos goes to last year's student council as well, because they had to be involved in helping document that and stuff and everything that we had done the previous year. And then another exciting thing is I had 2 people run for a state office. I had Kaylor Molson run for the Central Region rep, and you know that involves standing up in front of a room of about 100 kids and giving a speech and talking. And she had a fantastic speech. And unfortunately, a girl from Kelly Walsh who had a cheer routine that went with hers, beat her. Taylor had a better speech. So putting yourself outside your box and doing that was awesome. Kaylor also got recognized with the Hidden Hero Award at Student Council this year. She's one of those that comes in and puts a lot of time in and isn't necessarily recognized as one of the president or the vice president. And so that was awesome too that she got. But the big deal is, and I got to talk a little bit about, when I was telling them I was coming to talk about this, one of my other students heard me saying that I was going to be doing some of the talking and they didn't have to do a lot. And they were like, well, you should be able to nail that. So I'll try and keep it as brief as possible so I don't get the Academy Award being sick. But so the history of KC is pretty impressive in student council. We hold the distinction of having the only student that has ever been a back-to-back state president. And that was Noah Elm back in like 2013-ish era, somewhere in that era. And he was a back-to-back state president, so that's a pretty cool distinction. Jeannie Tenen, who was the council sponsor forever. I have an award named after her at the council for the advisor of the year. So we've done a lot of good stuff. We've been a meritorious distinction group since 1998, I believe. So it's kind of a pretty special thing that we have at KC, and I was honored to take it over about 8-9 years ago, somewhere in there, and continue that on. And so Cruz came to me 2 years ago, wanted to run or 3 years ago, wanted to run for state student council. Didn't make it the first year, didn't make it the second year. Said, I am not giving up. I am a junior this year. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to run for vice president. Absolutely nailed his opening speech, made it through the primaries to the finals, had a great question answer session, and then had a speech that wasn't really a speech, but this guy was controlling 1,100 kids that were there that day to get them to stand up and chant with him and get people fired up. And so Cruz ended up winning the state vice president. And so I'm going to let Cruz just say a couple words real quick about that honor and going through that. And I'm going to sit down finally.
So I'm very excited about it. As WASC Vice President, I get to attend a almost like country or national-wide student council convention called Vision, where this year we're going to meet up in New Hampshire from June 22nd to the 24th. And as vice president, I fill in the position as president if they are not able to make it to certain events. I will run workshops with other like school representatives so that they can make sure they are getting new information across from student council to student council, making sure that we can spread our ideas of how to involve our community and how to get more school-wide involvement within everything that we do. And the biggest thing I'm excited for is SLC, our student leadership camp, which will be taking place in Casper at the Casper College, where we'll have some kids come in. They'll spend, I think, maybe 4 or 5 days there. And we just get to lead them and teach them how to become independent and how to lead other students across their own regions and the whole state. And I think that's a very great thing to do because we need the kids to help us throughout the future. I think that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Hanson, we got 2 celebrations with early graduation.
Absolutely. So last week I got to come and visit with you all about a lot of philosophy regarding New West and our accountability model. If you remember, there were 2 things that I said that alternative schools are really trying to do. One of them is to re-engage students and also to set them in the right trajectory. And if I could have brought in 2 students who would really represent what we've done at New West and what our intentions are, probably would have been Cole Ross and Xander Engen. They have both been with us 2 years exactly. 3? No.
3.
Both been with us 3 years. That's all I got. Sometimes it's like 2.5. Start graduating early. So I'll say a few words, and then if you all have want to ask them some questions, that'll be fine too. So Cole came to us 3 years ago, I understand. This cat was hard to get to know at first, and I think he liked it that way. And I kind of thought, boy, here's a project. This is somebody that could really be a leader in our school if we can get him pointed in the right direction, we'll say. And I thought it was going to be a harder project than it was, and it really wasn't in the end. He might tell you that it was, tried to make it hard on me. But he's one. Once he found out that early graduation was potentially an option for him, he's done great the whole time. Not that was the only carrot hanging out there, but he expressed pretty early on that was something that he would like to do. You've maybe seen him around. He likes to ride some bulls, and so you'll see him out at the fairgrounds. He was pretty successful in that this summer, and plan to keep on working on that in the future. The last time we visited, his plans still to go over to Gillette College and study over there and get to work. So that's Mr. Cole Ross. Xander, also been with us for 3 years. And different story, easy to get to know guy, goofball. When that was sort of the, if there was a challenge with Xander from the beginning, it was like, man, can we get this guy to take anything seriously? And the answer is still no. And he's been fun to get to know over the years. And again, like both of them, really been engaged in the culture of New West High School, in the community in general, and just a good-natured fellow. And I told this class, because the students in this class will be the students we've had in the building the longest. Some of them will have had for 4 years. And I said, it's going to be hard saying goodbye to you guys. Cole, we actually say goodbye to, not forever, but on the last day of the semester is when he's finished. Xander is here tonight because he's graduating early, but not this semester, at the end of next semester, which for him will be a year early. So he falls under the previous arrangement that we had in policy. But with his original graduating class, that's correct, right? So kind of on time if you look at that. Yeah. So both great guys, both represent New West and our school district extremely well. That's all I really should say about them. But I'm super proud of them. I tell them that all the time. And I know they would love to answer some questions for you all about what their plans are.
Questions from the board?
Would you guys like to come up front?
Yeah, come on up front. Talk to us.
Yes.
Cole, tell us what you're gonna do.
So what I plan to do is, next year, starting with the fall of 2026, I plan on going to Gillette College and enrolling into a journeyman's program to get my electrician. Then after I get done with that, PRCA rodeo, have a job pretty much anywhere I go and just keep trucking.
So are you gonna be on the rodeo team with her?
Not the rodeo team. Depends, some of them I talking into a tradesman.
Yeah, we go talk to them. Yeah, we always need a good boat rider.
Xander, you're an entrepreneur. What are you thinking of?
Right now, I'm just working at DJ's trying to rack in some money. I plan on moving out when I'm 18 and starting my life early. I want to get back into fencing. Fenced for a year and I loved it. So then we'll just see where life takes me.
That's good. Ward, you got anything else? Gentlemen, thank you.
Guys,
Congratulations. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. And girls.
Thank you, Mark.
Hi, Mr. Corbin, you are up.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc. Okay, so, not to beat a dead horse, but I'm the new guy, right? So, I wanted to start with something that was super foundational, and it was our mission. All of the amazing work that you guys have done on the mission and vision for this school district. I wanted to show how we are being missional at Meadowlark. So, our mission is to build a strong foundation as we celebrate learning. And so there's going to be two parts. I got props to hold.
Excellent.
Okay. So one of the things that I had the opportunity to find out, I had just gotten the job, and I was still in my classroom in Cody, and I got this email from my accountability partner, Maggie. I didn't know she was going to be my accountability partner then, but at the same time, being able to develop a K-5 partnership has been super cool. And what that looked like was, hey, we have just gone through this PLC at Work workshop, and they have an opportunity for you to be in the next cohort. And I found out that we were already late, and so I petitioned WDE, and I was like, hey, we really want to get in on this. And they let us in, which was huge. And I've kind of talked about that in our school performance plan and those kinds of things. But one of the core pieces even that they started with is to really be a high functioning PLC. You have to be mission driven. And so we looked at that and said, well, in order to be a really solid PLC and to be mission driven, we needed to have clarity of purpose, consistent systems, and resilience. And so we're going to do those kinds of things when we get our mission, vision, values, and collective commitments all together. So I do want to thank you for your leadership in this work and the opportunity to learn from you all as we put it together at Meadowlark. So first part is building a strong foundation. It's for both of our students and staff, but it's also something that I learned. It's not really that I learned it, but it was an amazing quote. It was something that like hangs around in your brain as a teacher, and then it's just somebody said it exactly right. The second part of this was a quote from our core literacy training at the very beginning of the year, and I wrote it down and I keep it next to my desk. And it says the quality of student learning is a reflection of the quality of our teaching. And that's what a PLC is really about. How do we continue to become all of those things so that we are super clear on our teaching so that we have amazing quality of student learning. So in doing that, we create the very best group of educators that Wyoming can provide, especially K2. And these are the amazing people that you guys hired even before I got here to do it. And they are incredible. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So in order to do this, I was looking at what our resources look like, and we have a monthly PLC, or not PLC, but staff meeting. And the first couple of them, you know, I'm growing into the role a little bit, like giving every piece of information I can possibly think of. Like, man, you got to know this and this and this, and these are all the things that are going through my head. Have fun with that and remember it all. That doesn't really work, you know. You lecture, and the people remember like 5%, right? So what I wanted to do is actually transition that staff meeting from an information gathering piece to an active doing the PLC work, part of being the larger PLC in the building that is a part of the PLC that you guys all steward here. And so I started creating a Monday email that had all of that stuff in it and a pithy meme about, you know, the stuff that the meeting was about that could have been an email, but it really is this time. So we wanted to do this as part of doing that school performance plan and really our how. So our first job was to make sure that we had that clarity, consistency, and resilience. And to do that, we had to define all of our stuff. So I took all of the published materials that we had on this, and I made a slides presentation and printed out the slides to make them tactile. And we gave it out to the different teachers. They got into groups, they presented on their part. And then at the very end, I gave them stickers, and they were either green or red. And if we were doing it, I asked them, thin slicing, it's just your first impression. Are we doing this? Are we doing it well? Give it a green. If we need work on this, give it a red. And just binary data. And went through all of these pieces and really found a lot out about who we are, what we say we're doing, how we're going to move forward with it, and what areas are we really strong in, and what do we need to also shore up. So I think the next slide shows our mission one, which everybody was unanimous that they liked our mission. They could do that and do a good job at it. We did not have unanimity everywhere, but I'm working on that with them this month. So if you would like to find out more, feel free to come. Wednesday at 3:20. So Metal Arc Library, if you'd like to come. All right, but we did look at vision, values, and collective commitments. We have data on all of it, and we're going to start working on conclusions and how can we grow from this experience. So the consistent systems, it's really important, and you kind of have this feeling sometimes in educational circles that everybody just uses PLC because that's the word, right? That doesn't always mean that you're doing it the way that it's designed, right? And so they'll call it PLC Lite, or like any group of educators that want to get together, as opposed to doing it right. And honestly, doing it right means that you are super staunch on the 4 questions that you're looking at. What should students know and be able to do? How will we know that the students have learned the essential standards? How will we respond when they don't learn? And how will we respond when they do? And when you are super clear and consistent about those things, and we spend our time on those things, we're able to really focus in on our students and help them be the very best that they can possibly be. If you're interested, I have some solution tree reading with it as well. It's pretty fun. as far as like how to define all that. The resilience piece is that there's a difference between building and built, right? We're an educational institution. We're always building, right? We've got kids coming in junior K every year that we have to build a strong foundation so that we can give them off to Maggie at Cloud Peak when they hit third grade. So there's never going to be built. We're always in process. And we're always going to need strong collaborative teams. And when we're doing this, I think I mentioned it in our school performance plan or at some point, maybe it was last month, but doing this work gives you that confidence of demonstrated competence, right? And when you have that confidence of demonstrated confidence or competence, you have collective teacher efficacy because you know the whole group is in. And again, collective teacher efficacy in the data is like a 1.57 when growing a kid is a 0.4 in Hattie's stuff. I mean, it is astronomical. It outstrips everything. And PLC is how you get there. So the big question is, what if these systems were so good? They were built on trust, they were built on productive conflict, respect, and supported that as the norm everywhere we went, right? Not just Meadowlark, but whole district-wide. I'm thinking big, right? Imagine what that does for our whole community. And that's what I want to get to. So, all right, time for the props. When you are an elementary school principal, you get to fly your freak flag just a little bit more than everybody else, and nobody judges you for it, so it's okay. I gotta put on the jacket.
Nice.
You thought that was nice. At Meadowlark, just like we did today, I wore my Santa hat and everything else. We don't just celebrate 1 week in December. We celebrate every day. It's sometimes really hard to figure out what I'm going to do next. Celebrate. But it's not just celebrating our existence, right? We're celebrating the learning that our kids are doing. Part of that is making it fun for them to come and to learn, because learning is relational, especially at this level. So, the beauty of what our kids actually teach us and teach me so much every single day, even when I'm down, is they have this just irrepressible joy that is so much fun. If you guys ever need a pick-me-up, just come out to recess for 15 minutes. It's amazing what these kids are doing and how they're doing it and what they're learning just in interpersonal interactions with each other, and how excited they are for your just very presence in that space, and that they feel seen by you. So yeah, come on by. Okay, so now I took it to the month to month, because we take celebrating learning very seriously at Meadowlark. We went and found Mrs. Grace. She's kind of hard to find from time to time, but she was hiding out at the Cultistic Pumpkin Patch. And so then we went and found some pumpkins, and with those pumpkins, our first graders did these awesome writing projects all about pumpkins, and they named their pumpkins, and they did all kinds of things. And then they had science experiments with them, and they were decomposing in the classroom, and they were like checking it out and drawing pictures and making scientific observations in the whole 9 yards. And it was a blast. So then we had our back to school night, and our teachers get into it. I mean, Roxanne Hewitt's having a great time, you can tell. But we had, like 300 people come through that night, and it was just super fun. And we focused on building a strong foundation. That's why everybody's in their word get up. But everybody did different kinds of projects, all built around building that strong foundation of learning and engaging parents, and bringing that to their kids, and doing the problem solving work.
So Roxanne was shooting the rubber band at the superintendent.
No, good.
Just wanted you to be aware.
Hey, you gotta have fun where you can find it, right?
Yeah.
In October, Ms. Mills took us out to the river, and we got to learn all about aquatic invertebrates. You got to see all of these kids in their muck boots and hopping in the river and turning over rock after rock looking for snails and flies and all kinds of things. And she had partnered with, I think, the Forest Service and gotten all these really cool magnifiers and stuff like that so that the kids could view everything. And they were super engaged. It was cold that day. It was one of the colder days that we've had. But they were having a blast and constantly learning hands-on, doing all the stuff. So it was a lot of fun to be out there with them. And when the kids are actively learning, again, it's all about that joy. And as they bring that, they anchor those pieces. One of the greatest pieces that anchors information in our world is actually emotion. And so when you're a joyful learner, you're holding on to more. And then, of course, we did the trunk or treat, and we even had folks from admin and the board were out there, and we had everybody, and this is our compass picture. We had to do something creative for it because we had to keep up with all of the amazing work over at Cloud Peak. But we had a great time just having fun with each other and dressing up. And again, kids were writing, reading, doing themed math problems, all of the stuff that was just anchored into that joy of learning. And then shortly after that, we had our stargazing night, and I talked about this last month, but you know, amazing what can happen. These guys got just a smidge of time that there was a little opening over metal where you could see the stars. But they came, they had fun, we used apps, we could learn all of the things that we needed to learn, and it didn't have to be perfect.
Resilience.
Yeah. And then, of course, we had Veterans Day. One of our paras, Ms. Kathy Zorbis, does an amazing job of getting all of that stuff set up. And so we walked down to Main Street and did the Veterans Day program there. And then we also did our tech museum up here. And we had a reader's theater in Ms. Levine's class. These guys were doing amazing stuff there. Our kindergartners had a feast, but it was all about shapes, both 2D and 3D, and they had to identify all of them so that they could fill up their menu so they could eat. It was really cool. And then after learning all about the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Indians, our first graders had a Thanksgiving Day feast as well. And so finding ways to connect back in. And then right after break, it was a little bit crazy, but on the first and second, right after we got back, we were right back in it, doing the Christmas program. And boy, I'll tell you what, Patsy Peterson does an amazing job, doesn't she? I saw several of you guys there, and one of the things that just was so fun is we had students that I never would have thought that they would have actually stayed in one spot on that stage for even 10 minutes. And we were worried, and I was there to help support through all of the transitions and the practice and all of that stuff. And you know what? Every single one of them just crushed it. And they wanted to make their parents proud, and they were working hard. But it's amazing when something like music lights up all of the parts of the brain. Right? And what they were able to do. I got to joke around. I've been working my entire life on the physique to fit into that suit, and it's starting to pay off. So, we're getting it. But it was absolutely a blast, and those kids worked super hard. So, and then we had our FBLAers come in and help write to Santa Claus. And that was really fun too, to see all of our students from VHS connecting with the littles. And showing them what's possible and who to look up to and all the things that they're really amazing at. And I got a visit from my daughter. Brag on her for a second.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And lastly, I believe this is the last one. I have 2 staff members that just completed their degrees, and they deserve to be celebrated. One of them's here. Where's Jill?
Jill's front and center.
So we got Jill Wright and also Isabella DeWald. Isabella got her psychology degree, it's bachelor's in psychology, and Ms. Wright got her master's in ed leadership. So
That does not exit her from the policy committee.
in fact, it just makes her more qualified, right?
I like what she's doing so far.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your support and everything that you do for us at Meadowlark and helping us to empower our students to thrive.
Well done, thank you.
Good, thanks. Thank you.
All right. I guess next up, we've got our consent agenda. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Got a motion?
Second. Go ahead.
Benito, got a motion and a second. Marcia and Benito, discussion on the consent agenda. Hearing none, all in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, action items.
So with that,
Please.
Board Chair, I'm assuming you all seen your committees and your liaison assignments and you were good. No changing, right? And that means on the 17th, that's the facility.
Go to the correct spell.
Yes, okay. And you should have received your calendar invites for that extravaganza.
Yes.
So, Meadowlark, all of it, but the middle school is off limits. Been cheating already, so.
Which is why we win.
Can I just point out that my kids get to slime me, and we're also making the slime at Meadowlark. And if we win as an educational opportunity, please support.
I'll come by and put some money in because I want to see
A lot of slides.
So I know on the side note, I know there's a lot of humor and a lot of competition, but when I first got here, it was like $500 or $600. Now we're talking thousands of dollars that we're raising for a good piece. So it is.
And that was just our team at middle school.
Yeah. Okay, Travis. That's Charlie. But anyway, kudos to this community and to the school district because that is giving back.
For sure.
And so that's pretty awesome.
Yes, it is. It's become a great, fun tradition around here that I've enjoyed considerably.
So, perfect.
All right then. Next up, we got board restructuring. This is the idea that we're going to spend the first hour of the next work session inviting the community to come in and visit with us about board restructuring. Is there a motion?
Motion to dedicate an hour of the January 2026 work session to collect public comment and feedback on this topic.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Katie and Dave. Discussion on this one. We talked about if this was going to be a big turnout, are we going to start at the auditorium? Or
We are.
go through the whole work session at the auditorium? What's
Yes,
the-
we're gonna start there, finish there.
Okay, so everybody make note, the work session in January. We'll go to the VHS auditorium and make it happen there.
Auditorium.
Hey, Jake, by the way, just so you know.
Putting it on the calendar right now.
So, Mr. Chairman, I've already invited commissioners to come listen. So, I'm talking to Mr. Novotny, so he's gonna pass that on. We'll send a calendar invite. I've asked Heidi to do that, so I did have that phone call today.
And just to clarify what that is, moving to 5, correct?
9 to 7.
5:15
Oh,
will
sorry.
be the start.
When you go moving to 5, I said, no, that wasn't the conversation. We're going 9 to 7, but yes, 5:15.
Yes.
No, we're gonna say
5:15.
5:15.
Regular time.
Sorry, Benito, I'm on the same page now, but my eyes looking, no, we did not conversation about going at 5, or it's 7, but yes, it's 5:15.
Unless the PHS principal just figured out that he had another thing happening in the auditorium that
It's
night.
not on the list. We're good.
Okay, all right. I saw you get excited. Went, oh, maybe we're going to rebook that.
That's Wednesday the 7th, correct?
Any other discussion on this one?
Likewise.
Mr. Chair, the only further discussion I would say is just based on the amount of time that we spent on it at the work session last night. There's quite a bit of time for us to continue to think about. We're not just waiting to see what the public has to say. We've got a lot of time that we can kind of come to how we all feel about it as well.
Yes.
Between now and then.
Very good. Anybody else on that one? All in favor of dedicating the first hour of the next work session to public comment regarding the reduction from 9 to 7, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay.
So Travis's clarification, just so we understand the process. We are just gonna hear community input, and then at the board meeting that following Monday, then you will determine whether you're gonna actually take action to move forward, or we stay as a board of 9. So just for the community and everybody to understand, tonight's action was not officially approving the start of the process. Tonight's action was approval to hear from the community, and then in the January regular board meeting, you will determine as a board. Okay, so just a clarification for the community.
Great.
Okay.
All right, next up, policy revision, try it again. GCG, second reading, easy for me to say. GCG, part-time substitute.
I'll make a motion to approve policy GCG, part-time sub-professional staff employment on the second reading.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Dave and Marcia, discussion on this one. I hit this pretty good earlier.
Actually, yeah, I have one thing. My question was about, and I don't know that we brought this up at the first reading or not, but the last paragraph of basically the last paragraph before that still isn't struck out.
Okay.
Talking about the substitute teacher who holds long-term substitution permit or full-time Wyoming certification as a teacher with the appropriate endorsements for the subjects being taught may be assigned as a substitute for more than 45 days in a given semester. And I was wondering if we should consider thinking about shall instead of may. To me, that seems like potentially a place where that could be a loophole for, I guess, like if we're, as a district, being put into positions where we're trying to do more with less, that seems like we could, in theory, put in a non-certified teacher as a long-term sub for more than 45 days that maybe isn't accredited.
Okay, I'm not sure I followed
I'm
that.
gonna read
Type.
this
Do that
again.
again.
I'm not
A long-term
wrong.
substitute permit or
I
a
think-
full teacher certification.
Yeah, so since we only say may, we don't say shall, I see a situation where a long-term sub, potentially 180 days, anything over 45 days, could be put in a position to teach. I'm asking if, when it comes to long-term substitutes, for example, somebody over 45 days, should we as a school board require, instead of just saying we may throw somebody in there that has a certification, should we require that that person has a certification?
And I think I'm reading
So,
that differently.
we have the right to do that at any time. What this is clarifying is may, so we may put somebody in a long-term subbing position. Because you have subs that are fully certified as teachers and then they have their teaching certification. If there was one thing to change, but I know it's state statute, and I don't know if Connie and those guys have it. The only concern I have is the question of long-term sub permit. Just a sub permit or a full-time certification that we can put them in long-term. we have the ability under current policies and stuff to transfer any teacher into that position if we need to. This is just literally stating a sub or somebody who doesn't work full-time for the district with a teaching certification, we can move them into that full-time position or extended position more than 45 days.
And if I read it correctly, you have to be one or the other, either a long-term sub permit or a full certification
Yeah, and I
in
think
order to be
I
assigned.
think we're gonna look
over
that up and
45.
I'll own it. Connie, I don't know if you had a time, we were gonna look at the state statutes and look at what that looks like, but that was terminology that come from the School Boards Association, so it's probably a statute somewhere where it says long-term
I'm looking.
substitute permit. Theoretically, it's a sub permit. They have to have a certification through the state to be a sub or a teaching certification to allow them. And then when we put them in some type of long-term assignment, all right, there are still rules beyond that. So if it's a long-term, like I used the last example was, we can't fill a position, so we have to put a sub in there. So there are multiple districts around the state in my example that couldn't fill a music position, so they had a long-term sub. They had to have a subbing certification, or they had to have some type of teaching certification in order to be into that. But you can't place them until you prove you've opened it up, tried to interview, and there's no filling positions of what that looks like. So it's just really the key thing for me is they have to have a substitute permit or some type of teaching certification for us to put them in a subbing position long-term, or any type of subbing position, theoretically.
It says that the state certification misassignment guide that WD puts out says anyone with a substitute permit can be a long-term sub. So there's not really a certification per se, but any substitute can. And I think that is a statute that they amended that used to be the 45.
The way that this is written, we are able to put somebody in a long-term position that only has a substitute permit.
The state statute says yes.
Yes.
And is that enough?
It's not ideal. We would never want to do that, but sometimes that's.
No, I think your question is absolutely that's enough for that, because there is another layer. We could reassign a teacher to that position if we needed to. This is the subbing position if we can't reassign within our own teams. So hopefully that helps read what that answer is.
Yeah.
The one word, again, comes back out of it. If you want to scratch one word, for me, it's just long-term sub permit. It's just a sub permit.
Yeah.
A Wyoming certified subbing permit.
There's no distinguishing between the two.
Either way, summarize this. The way it's written is actually going to align to what we're doing, and it's going to allow us to continue to do what's best for our kids.
Further discussion? Anybody got anything in it? All right. All in favor of approving policy GCG as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. So, next up, policy GCB, professional staff contracts and compensation.
I'll make a motion to approve policy GCB, professional staff contracts and compensation.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Marcia and Lynette, discussion. Anybody got discussion on GCB?
So it's required. It's written by the Wyoming School Board Association. So
yeah, we didn't have this.
It's required. We need to have it.
Agreed. Any other discussion? All in favor of approving file GCB as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay. Policy adoption, second reading. JICB, care of school property by students.
To approve policy JICB.
Got a motion and a second. Dave and Katie, discussion of this one.
Discussion is, there again, written by the Wyoming School Board Association. They're requiring us to have it, or at least recommending us to have it.
Yep.
So and we need more policy.
Yeah, well, clearly, our book is not near thick enough. We can do something about it. Here's our opportunity.
Dave, wait till the next slide.
Yeah. Please.
When we worked on this policy the last time it came up, I had asked a question about actual teacher property. Was anybody able to look into that? Did we?
Yes.
Do we have something?
Yes.
It includes everything?
So if there's any type of property damage, whether it's school, that we have the right, may have, yes.
So a teacher's personal items is covered under this policy?
Or another student's.
Or another student's?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving JICB as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay. And then we get to the book filler. We approved the E-Series technologies as a slate previously. Can I get a motion on the E-Technology Series slate? Got a motion to approve the E-Technology Series as a slate as presented.
Second.
Got a second from Casey and Benito. Discussion on this one. Charles, refresh my memory. All of our experts have looked.
Yeah, and so for me, Travis, it's required by Wyoming statute 21-3-220. So if it's required by state statute, we need to have these policies in place.
Yes, and there's loads of reasons to have them, but all the experts have seen it, the lawyers, the trustees team, everybody has.
We're just following protocol, yeah.
Okay, they're all satisfied? They are, I am. You guys got anything else?
2 policies a month now. The revision would take 15 years and not 13 and a half. So.
Yay, going the wrong way. All right.
A slate like this, how long will they last?
What's that?
I mean, how long will a policy like this hold? Can we expect it to?
Till AI evolves.
So that's a great question. So that's why we're with the School Boards Association, and they have development of policies. So as policies either come out or get outdated, that's their job to direct us. Even though we tried to revisit them and at least look at them, that's the security blanket. That's the reason we're part of the School Boards Association. One of the reasons, not the only reason, that we're a part of that process. So as laws change or rules need to go away, they would direct us as a district to move those, yeah. Because it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Well, when you add that many at one time, I mean, like you said, now we're at 15 years?
So I was being sarcastic in a way, but we'd reference Christie and all these.
The way technology changes, policies may not last.
Any of these can be outdated tomorrow.
Or updated is what I should say.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else on this slate? Okay. All in favor of approving the technology policies, starting with E, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, that's it for action items, if I'm tracking correctly. Very good. General reports. Anybody got questions for the principals?
All right, Mr. Chair, we have the principals here tonight. Is there any individual questions or questions from board liaisons? With our board reports, I would like to, reading through these, we have some pretty phenomenal reports, and I really, I think it needs to be kudos to the team. I know we set board expectations and a lot of questions of why we do it, but when you look at what they're doing, and you as board liaisons are looking at what we're doing in our schools, there's some pretty amazing board reports that are being produced. So kudos to the team, but I'll let you as a board ask any individual questions you might have.
Right. Well, I just wanted to start by thanking all of the principals. This was the best set of reports I've seen. Everybody except Maggie. Hers made me cry when the kids were singing the song to the veterans, so you're in trouble. So in trouble. But other than Maggie, you guys, really nice work.
You can listen to some bucket drumming after that.
That was good. Yes, the lightsaber fight was best. No, it was real good. You guys brought huge energy this time. That was the best I've seen since I've been in this. I really enjoyed them all. They were particularly well done this month, I thought. Dave, you had something?
So, Mr. Evans, I think Justin Sullivan made a platform for the governor's office.
Yes, he
I
did.
think that that should have been a highlight. That's just wonderful that he did that. We need to give thanks to Knotty Pine Milling and Heartland Tree Service for helping do that.
Yep.
Thanks for doing the Veterans Day feed for the veterans and stuff up there. Meadowlark, John, you put the myth deal there, myth versus reality for school board members. I thought that was an interesting read, so thanks for putting that in there. Yeah. And then Casey, I think bringing the community members in to teach the kids the why we go to school, I think that's great because sometimes they need that mentorship. So thanks for bringing those in.
That's a great idea. And that's Reed.
Yeah, my question was kind of to Liz and Jake and Mike, but is he still here?
I think he's gone.
That I saw kind of a theme today about talking about aptitude and the like you had the youth science and the career cafe, and you were talking about the life skills and employability skills, and you had people from the community and stuff. I saw overlap, and I guess my question is, how much opportunity do you guys have to get your administration, but more importantly, maybe your counselors together and talk about maybe in a PLC style how the different schools are, what worked? Youth science is awesome, but we had such good luck when we had the community come in and did a career type cafe sort of a thing. Just how much opportunity is there, and is it enough? And
Well, the PLC process of actually meeting twice a month or once every week would be extremely hard, I think, to accomplish.
Right.
Because you would want more than just the high school counselors to get together too. The middle school counselors as well as the elementary counselors would be good to have involved because it would involve a little bit more than that. I do know that the counseling team does meet on a regular basis anytime we have a PD day, and they do some planning throughout the year for that. But that's a great idea. I think maybe we can look at how we can sculpt a process of doing maybe Google Meet or something along those lines for them to do that. But yeah, this youth science piece is available in all schools, middle school on up. And Jen Mater hasn't probably spoken about it yet, but she's digging into it with her kids right now, and she's getting the middle schoolers involved in that youth science piece. So you should probably even be seeing some of that happening at the middle school as well for that aptitude testing.
Awesome.
Career interest, as well as those life skills.
Yeah. And Carrie does communicate with the counselors in Buffalo quite frequently. She reaches out to them for a lot of things. So she does know about it, and we're working on getting that going strong in Casey as well. We just have a few other things we're doing first.
Sure.
Counselors do meet as a PLC once a month.
Yeah.
Is it once a month?
We're meeting
Okay.
this Friday.
This Friday, yeah.
This Friday.
glad to hear that they're meeting.
And then we can verify we go to them. They want to spend money, so.
Okay, keep an eye on them, Connie. Anybody got anything else for the principals? Okay, hearing none. Ops team's up.
I do have one question for Maggie, because the video was up on my big screen. It was a phenomenal video. What type of phone were you recording?
I just have an Android.
That's why.
I'm an Apple person.
It's an
That's
Android.
why.
Apple better pick up their game. Kudos to you as a board, though. Reading the reports, the videos, and everything across there were some amazing things going on. So, yeah. Okay.
All right,
Ops
team.
Question for the ops team.
Bill, you got it going slow and easy now? Plenty of drivers, lots of buses, no trouble coming with snow?
No one is in more awe than I am that we're still getting us taken care of.
Moving that many
Yeah,
miles.
we've had the luxury of no snow. Mr. Oski and I have not had a 3 a.m. phone call yet this year.
Ooh, that's a new record.
Thursday, we'll probably be up early if anybody wants to talk to us. It's all looking good. So far, yeah, we're getting ready to start our winter activities. As you guys saw, the floodgates do come open this weekend, and it's kudos to my team and my crew from every aspect of it, all hands on deck, like you've heard for 2-3 years now, but even more so this opening weekend. And it's just a great opportunity for all of our kids to get out and, you know, represent JCSD 1 and let them strut their stuff, and then we'll get into the toils of rescheduling if the weather
Shuffles the deck.
So it shuffles some things, but no. Yep, really, really amazing, and kudos to my crew for everything they're doing, the flexibility that those guys have. So.
Well done. How's the bus ride thing going?
Bus ride is going. We've had a couple learning opportunities as with any new software program. You know, we're the nice thing about bus ride is the CEOs and the IT tech team with those guys. They're right involved with us. So we're building some things. There's a lot of roads in Johnson County that are not labeled on Google Maps, but they are now starting to become a part of that, so that we're able to connect all those. Some of our rural routes, you know, were some challenging things with, you know, the difference between turning at so-and-so's ranch and going up this road and coming back around. We were able to label those, get those all going with our third-party mapping. And so we look to, here after the first year, we look to spring that out into the community, and our parents will be able to see a little bit more of the vision of Bus Right. But as far as the backside of that, the way it talks with Power School and us as far as developing routes, looking up students, being able to change things, it is amazing. It has saved us a ton of time doing that. So we definitely see the benefits, but like any new software program, right, Connie and Leslie, there are some growing pains with it, but their team has been working really close with our team. So.
You can do it. You can do it.
Year 3. New software is really cool in year 3. The first 2 years are not so much.
We hope to have it in less than, well, we've only been at it for about 4 months, so we're hoping to have it before the end of the year.
Beat that kid.
Taken care of. So.
Excellent. What else, guys? Mr. Dave, please.
Christy, what is a Category 2 funding cycle? I'm not sure I understand.
Well, there's Category 1 and Category 2 for E-rate. And Category 1 is the state uses that for our internet throughout the state for schools. And Category 2 is for like network switches, access points, that sort of thing I would buy.
And so does that funding come from the state also?
It's from the,
is it the FCC?
Yeah, it's federal.
It's part of your phone bill every month. You're paying a little bit to that.
Doesn't take long to rack some serious money up to update that stuff, does it?
It helps.
It helps, but it doesn't cover.
Lynette, you had.
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate John. First of all, it was really fun putting faces to all your guys in Charles Board Report, like getting to hear from them. They're, a lot of times they work hard. Well, they work hard, but a lot of times people don't know who they are. So that was really cool to have those faces and being able to connect. What an awesome team. Second of all, I'd like to congratulate you on being selected to the facilities condition assessment, working with the state.
What happens when you open your mouth?
Huge kudos to you, John. You've been instrumental. You and I have I got on the board, you kind of got in there. So it's been really an enjoyable time watching you grow, and just the work that you go through and the adaptability that you've been able to make is, I mean, you've had some challenges and you're continuing, but keeping your chin up. And I think it's exciting that we have a representative from Johnson County at that state level. We really, as Johnson County School District, are putting our names on the map, and I'm very proud of everyone for that. So congratulations, John.
Well
Can I keep the John compliment train going?
Please.
Absolutely.
So on Saturday afternoon, I received a surprise text from my counselor who had stopped by the school to grab something from her classroom, and she heard some water and peeked around the corner and saw quite a mess, to which she promptly took a picture and sent it to me. And I called John straight away. Well, first I sent him the picture.
But they didn't get it first.
And when I didn't hear from him like immediately, I thought, well, I better call him. And he was downtown shopping with his family. and he was over to the school within about 5 minutes, beginning the problem-solving process. I also have to compliment the custodial crew because I reached out to Matt, who was out of town, who shared some numbers with me of some of his colleagues, and they responded right away. And by the time I got to the school to kind of check on things, John was there with that entire crew that you met in his report, and they had already located the issue, isolated the situation, and then Brooke and Mike were there to start cleaning things up. It did require us to go without heat for the rest of the weekend, and so it was a little bit chilly this morning, but John got a hold of me right away and said parts are on their way, people are already coming to fix things, and the heat should be back on by 10 o'clock. And sure enough, he checked his watch, and 10 o'clock on the dot it was. So it was just amazing to have such a quick response from so many different people who work on these various teams on a Saturday afternoon when there was going to be a big community parade within about a couple of hours after this all sort of started falling apart, literally ceiling tiles falling apart. And so it was a huge relief and help to me to know that there were so many people ready to just step in and have their areas of expertise, because I sure know I couldn't have fixed that problem. So thank you. Thank your crew. They were here. They were at school for a good portion of the morning, just happily fixing everything. And Jackson was giving kids high fives in the hallway as they were headed in from recess, and just smile on their face the whole time. And it wasn't a pretty picture Saturday afternoon. So
it's funny. Maggie has a saying: "Is listen." How does it go? You listen with curiosity.
Yeah, it's me.
And Maggie was cool as a cucumber. I'm downtown, but then we're going there and explaining things. She was all ears. You can see it in her eyes. She was all ears, just listening. Some of it may have been overwhelming, but I want to say thank you to Maggie for just staying calm and cool, reflective. And thank you to Brooke Oaks and Mike File that responded. And Apex Mechanical for coming on Saturday. And he goes, one way or another, we're going to get this thing back up running by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, even if we have to oil field it. Because the fittings are on back order.
That's right.
So this little rubber right here is a thing that caused thousands of dollars of damage. This is a Victaulic fitting, Victaulic rubber. That's what let go.
Yes, good one.
We've replaced 103 or 106 of these last summer or 2 summers ago up there. That was only a fraction of what's in that building.
Oh boy.
So there's more to come. So in this process, we have some on order to have some extras, because it's not if, it's when.
Oh, time bomb in your building. Good luck with that.
The challenge is Craig got out at a good time. He saw the writing on the wall.
Warranty expires.
But that's some of the challenges that I face today. And what was one of the celebrations in my board report?
John, why do those
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, nothing.
We're able to have
the full break
time with family.
Yes.
These failed because either 2 things. They installed the wrong gaskets when the building was built, or they installed them wrong.
Yeah,
Or it's water quality.
Shouldn't, yeah.
I just got this thing clean. If you'd like to touch it, your hands will be black for about 8 hours. It's
Rotting.
It's like rotting away. The water quality, there's a lot of variables there.
Hopefully we're ordering the right gaskets in.
Yes. So those are just some of the challenges. And we're just right around the corner.
There's a lot of
here yet.
Right. So.
Who got Jackson the energy drink?
I heard he was near your office.
Anybody got anything else for the ops team?
I do. Ricky, I know that it wasn't in your board report, but I just wanted to give your team kudos for the holiday meal that we just did this last week. It was so fun to get to see all the kids, but I know that behind the scenes, that's a lot of work. So good job to your team on making sure that there was plenty of food, and the way that it was set up, it flowed really well. So good job to your team.
Especially that fast line.
Our
Well, I
fast
had to
line, I
tell
think
this-
is what I heard.
I had to tell the servers, this is not normal. Because they're just like,
Yeah.
relax. I'm like, no, it's usually like.
How fast can you move?
True, you know, Mr. Corbin can attest to that. It's usually not that.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
It did go pretty smooth. Craig's gonna come every day because he thinks it's so easy.
I was doing it left-handed.
My goodness, it's because you were stealing from our side of the table to get your goods,
So many people come through our side, and I ran out twice.
No, your scoop was not level.
We can argue that after the board meeting.
But thank you. You did a really.
And I think we had 8 or 9 of us there, and I think typically there's 2 people doing the job of all 9 of us. Is that correct? Yeah. So we can talk about our big game and how well we did, but
Many hands and light work or something like that.
yeah, I still made mistakes.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
I went through that one after the meeting too.
Well, we all did, but it was an interesting flight for sure.
They had a lot of.
You're never gonna live that down.
Anything else for the ops team? All right, admin reports. Mr. Superintendent, you're up first. Guys, we got things for the super?
Something I want to point out just to make sure we're clear on my board report. So you've seen the snapshots that come from InfoDash.
Yes.
The average daily attendance is not 97.5. Through the amazing work of leadership today, Richard didn't have everything correct, and so we got that fixed. It's really the average daily attendance is between 94 and 95%. So just want to put kudos to the team, finding things and not just accepting what is being downloaded. So that's kudos with that. With that, we have the potential of up to 6 new kids starting with us in January. So, but InfoDash is a hit. Your presentation at the School Boards Association, I do have a meeting, a video conference with several superintendents around the state because of your work to present this and all of you and several other things. So kudos to you as a board. Staff videos. I've learned, do not tell people in advance that they're gonna get videoed. Because it goes a lot easier and everybody shows up. So kudos to everybody that took the time to allow me to introduce them and do the videos. So there was that hopefully people are seeing those videos and kind of moving on from there. So, okay. Casey only had 3 retakes.
That's not bad. Took me a dozen.
It's like, I saw it in one time. And he got a phone call in the middle of my first one?
Oh, no.
Cut it
So
off?
Travis, do you have any questions or concerns with me of my report?
Board, questions for the super? I loved your Did You Know this time, Charles. It was one of my very favorites.
Pretty
About the
cool,
different-
wasn't it?
Yes, the public schools were the first place to host community Christmas programs because they were heated out there. I thought that was just the funnest Did You Know I've seen yet.
Maggie, I've listened to your podcast, but I haven't got all the way through it, so thanks for putting that on there, Charles.
I wanted to mention something on my report, that all the recalibration pieces, I'm just keeping them there, and then I just add so that you don't have to go to every other report that I did, that it'll just keep adding to that one, so all your links are there. So if you want to have a deeper dive, you'll have it all.
So Craig,
Can I a couple different things. I don't know, a couple work sessions ago, we had a conversation about some transition. I just wanted to let you know that we've started that. There should be an email going out. It was supposed to go out today, but I didn't get time to get it sent. So hopefully tomorrow or the next day. I visited with several stakeholders that have students that would be impacted by a transition. And so
trying to bring a whole bunch of the community together to have real good conversations about building that. So just wanted to update you on that. And then also put something in here on the LRP. It's the Special Ed Legal Conference. Historically, we've invited a board member to attend, and so I want to just put that out there for you guys. If you have questions, give me a call. And I put information in here so you have dates and things like that, but let me know.
Thank you. Anybody got anything else? Admin team.
I did want to just say that, Charles, I know you sent out, I don't know if you actually sent that email that you sent to us saying you were going to forward that stuff, but you do this frequently and I really appreciate that. You're just keeping everyone in the know, especially during these like recalibration anxiety level times. And I think it's just like a nice, like, hey, we're still working on it. We didn't forget. We're going forward. I think that maybe sets peace of mind for some people, and me especially. I feel like, you know, we're saying,
We know that
we're going, but yeah.
Change comes, but we will survive it.
Well, thank you. But with that being said, in addition to what you said, I appreciate the work and the time you guys have put in with recalibration too, understanding the model and understanding what's coming in front. So kudos to you as a board.
All right. Anything else for admin? All right, board level reports. BOCES.
Just the last meeting, they met in person. I actually participated virtually like always, but did the audit. Audit came through really in good shape. So the organization's doing well. And then you guys voted to put Benito in as a board representative. Appreciate that. So I'll communicate that out to Nomi and be happy to let Benito in.
Good job.
$20 later, Kirk.
I'm surprised you hadn't sent that email already.
I thought it went out Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was going to, but he said, no, Craig, not yet.
You can push send.
Now hit it. BOCES.
We've not had a meeting. I think we have one scheduled here in January, don't we? Elect officers at that time.
Okay. Rec board?
I was at the athlete winter meeting, and so I did not make it to the rec board meeting this month, or in November, and December we take a month off.
Okay.
So,
Not good enough. All right, other business from the board. Start with our WSBA conference review.
Mr. Chair.
Please.
This is a huge compliment to every one of our teachers and people in the district that are with our kids, because when we sat down at these tables and we're visiting with other people in other districts across the state, at my table, the people there said, we can't believe how wonderfully nice and polite and kind your kids are when they travel and we see them out at other places. And that is huge. Like, what a win for this district, because kindness, I mean, you want to create beautiful human beings, and hopefully we're doing that. So awesome job.
Yeah, they said they were excited when Buffalo people came.
Mm-hmm.
And they love their sportsmanship too, so.
Yeah, I got that one too.
That was a huge compliment.
Play well and
Yeah.
good sportsman. Other things that you guys picked up at the tables at the WSBA? Lots of good discussion, lots of fun. All right.
So Travis, I know you don't like to do this, but you need to give yourself some kudos as a board.
Yeah, it was good fun.
You guys, for being as nervous as you were, were we going to be able to handle that? The time went so fast, we didn't even cover all the information, and you guys still had a lot to present. And in fairness to you guys, that was a big enough hit that there's a potential you won't be a breakout section, you'll actually be a pre-conference next year. if you're willing to do that as a board. So that's kudos to you, because all we did was put up the slide showing what you guys did at the table and make connections. So, which was the whole intent,
Yes,
right?
that was what we did.
To be on the same page with other board members around the state of Wyoming. And several went to their superintendents and said, you will be doing what Johnson County School District's doing. So kudos to you guys. Okay.
Well, you guys know the quote, the reward for work well done is more work. Get ready, we got a whole hour next time.
That was kind of the point, though.
Yes, it was, to go meet those people and make some connections. There's a lot of us, we get it together, we can be a powerful voice. All right, recalibration update.
It's just on the agenda to talk about. I've submitted that email out to the entire staff and to you guys. It's nothing more than, I guess, reiterating that there are a lot of unknowns, but change is coming.
Change is coming.
I will do my best to keep administration and supervisors informed along with you as a board of trustees. But what people don't see is the groundwork we've done over the last three to 4 months to really be in front of that game. The work that Connie and all the school, Leslie did with other business managers around the street, around the street to actually start coming up with at least projections is awesome.
Yes.
So I appreciate your guys' approach and your guys' support. And again, change is going to happen. We're just going to throw it out on the table and have an opportunity. So
We're going to ride through it, figure it out, and make this work regardless. So, but yes, ladies, thank you with your projections. The ability to see around the corner is huge. It helps us enormously, particularly when we're down there lobbying for you're going to cripple us with this one. Those kind of things help us at least make better stories that we can tell.
You know, in addition to that, I think one of the things that people are forgetting, I do want to say there's other things other than recalibration. There's a literacy bill coming up that unfunded mandates. Jess and Maggie both did a phenomenal job with our local leadership, and actually I sent out an invite, I think, to 20 people to hopefully do another virtual one. So that there's other components other than recalibration that are levers that can impact what we do. So we are, as a district, the Johnson County School District #1, at least taking the bull by the horns and trying to steer it. So that's awesome.
I love that you're bringing in our actual experts that have spent a lifetime becoming masters of education and telling those stories. We can go down and talk and they'll hear us and listen some, but when you bring in real experts, it's different. You hear different, it hits different. So I'm glad that you're getting that in front of everybody you can.
So I know it wasn't in my board report we were talking about, but I did share that email that Dave was talking about. So if you have an opportunity to listen to that podcast and look at that slideshow PowerPoint presentation, it's pretty powerful on what we're doing at JCSD 1. Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Please.
Just from Wednesday night at our work session, we had Senator Crago and Representative Connolly, and I know some of you weren't here, and so we had good conversation. They gave us some updates of some different things that are going on down there. There's a lot of things going on. One thing that I personally asked was, what do they need to know from us so that they can make the best decisions for Johnson County School District #1? And the short of the long story is they want stories. They want actual
buildings.
From actual buildings. Currently, we have 2 people in our district that are representing Johnson County at the state level, Mr. Zink and Dr. Miller. And so I think that that's huge. You two will both be sitting on committees at that level, making a difference. And so I would encourage from you guys as administrators, from your staff, from your teachers, like if there's something that you feel needs to be told, whether you think that it will make a difference or not, it will make a difference. If you think that maybe it could be something that you think may not even pertain to what recalibration looks like, send it. Yeah. Write it, send it. That's what they want. That's what they asked for. So I encourage anybody that has skin in the game, which everyone in here has skin in the game for this district, So I would encourage any of you, educate your staff, let them know kind of what's going on, and they as well. If they have something that they want to say, encourage them to do that, because the more voice that we can get to Senator Craigo and Representative Conley, the better off we are. Neither of them sit on an education committee, but at the end of the day, they still hold a vote. So, and they do have friends that they talk to, and if we can educate them on the great things that are going on in Johnson County, I just think that those stories, will hopefully make a change.
Well, things that seem very simple to you guys that are professionals and out there doing this every day that sometimes flummox me to this day. I am shocked at some of the things you can make happen, but simple things like the difference in a classroom size of 20 versus 25 in 5th grade, what that's going to look like. What will it mean if we have to change some of the smaller grade classes to larger numbers? Little things that you can find in your building that you're living through and you have already dealt with in many cases. Show them that. Let them see what a classroom designed to hold 18, now packed with 25, looks like, because the world outside the buildings doesn't know this. I was shocked to learn some of the stuff I've learned at recalibration. Help them understand, for people that don't have your experience and knowledge, what does it look like to pack that classroom that full and leave one teacher with 25 5th graders? It's different than the way we've done it, and there will be consequences. Help us, help them. Tell their friends and the neighbors that they sit by in those meetings, this is what you're actually talking about. When you say you want to do this, here's the real world effect. This is what it's going to mean live. They don't know, and the only people who can tell them are you guys. You're the only people that got the knowledge and skills to share those kind of stories. So help us find them. We'll push them out. We can.
And as
move the
employees as well, you as employees of a district, every decision, there's a trickle down. The salaries, the base salary that they're speaking of, the monopolizing healthcare. There's some serious things that's going to affect you guys as staff. And, if you have an interest in it at all, or you just want to tell your story, your family is your story. Share it. Tell your story before someone else has an opportunity to. You guys are professionals. You hold the big key to moving these kids along. So tell your piece.
Yeah.
Say what works. And send that letter. Send that letter. Write that email. Write an email and send a letter. And make a phone call.
Yes.
Do it all. I encourage you. Yeah.
Travis, I know Connie and Leslie, you both allude to the fact that, as you increase salaries, that typically means we're going to have less teachers. And we don't necessarily want that. As Travis said, we're going to have a larger class size. We can't have less. So I hope you guys, and I know you guys have been very active, so hopefully you guys will let, whether it be Mr. Craigo or whoever, know about that. So.
Yeah, and I'd like to say something I think we should do or consider is, like, for us who are going down to talk and everybody else who is talking, to have good, I know you guys probably have thought about this, but like some solutions or alternatives, or where we can meet in the middle, where there's compromise, so that we have that talking point, of being able to share with them when we go down. Because it's like, I know that they say they want it this way, but if we can be persuasive in talking with them of what would work for our school district too, those are good talking points, where it's like, we don't want to go here and we don't want to go down, but we can meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, those would help.
So I just want to extend on that. That's the work we've been doing for the last 3 months, so you are correct. So once the cards are revealed, then we got to come up with solutions. Because right now we're just taking an educated guess on where we think they want to land. Mm-hmm. But kudos to the board and the trainings and the knowledge you're gaining, because there will be, right now, there's just the unknown. I think I expressed this in the work session last week. At this time during recalibration, we've already had memos from the LSO on how it's going to impact districts and what their formula is. So right now, we're just projecting something that we don't even know. So, but you're correct in saying we've got to have a solution. but I'm also gonna manage our time enough. We can come up with 1,000 solutions. They gotta reveal their card so we can understand what the solutions are. And so it's gonna be a short window of time.
Yeah, but when we go down there, when we go down there and we're talking, it's like, or even to Crago, it's like, we've gotta put like what's gonna work for us in their heads so that they have that talking point as well with other people.
All right. Anything else on that one?
And just one thing,
Please,
I
please.
know like we're saying, tell your story, get us the information, but like what that looks like is we are building the communication relationship with Barry and Marilyn. And so you don't know, we say write the letter, but just get the information to us somehow, whether it's Charles, whether it's us, so we can call them and speak with them. I mean, that's how closely we're trying to get in with this. So I think you can say, send the information, but really get it to us that are sitting right here.
Help us build our case.
Yes.
We'll go down and fight as best we can. All right, next up, legislative session attendance. Who knows who wants to go to the legislative sessions this round?
So I just want to put them out,
Please.
Travis is the chairman. So first is recalibration, it's in Cheyenne, and the next one is the School Boards Association legislative forum. So those are the next steps. So what happens in January is really going to impact what we're going to see at the School Boards Association in February, with what that looks like. As the agenda comes out for recalibration in January, that will probably lead to how we start building stories and telling what we need to do and what that impact is. So it is a commitment. We're not going to go down and spend 6 hours. We're going to go down and spend days. So we will go down the night before, obviously, because it's so far away. Recalibration will be 2 full lengthy days, and then we'll drive back. And then that Saturday for the School Boards Association, it's a Sunday and Monday, but we will depart on Saturday. I think I've already influenced potential meetings Saturday night where we have a dinner where there could be a WASA meeting or some type of not WASPO, but back meeting. But anyway, we're gonna go down the night before and we'll come back late those nights. So those will be some long days.
Yeah, they're exhausting. You come back from one of these and
February the 21st, is that right?
yes.
The 22nd, and then the 23rd. We're coming home, or we're not coming home on Sunday, are we?
So we will go down on a Saturday and come back on late Monday night.
Monday,
Sunday,
okay.
Saturday, home Monday night, and it's late Monday.
Okay. I just didn't have it ending right in my phone, sorry.
You as a board have always directed me to have a very tight schedule for 16 hours worth of work, so.
Yeah, I remember that one. Okay, questions, comments, thoughts on this one? Everybody good?
So we will leave on the 21st for recalibration. So the afternoon of the 21st, January 21st, we will depart if you can attend. And then, so January 21st, we depart that afternoon for Cheyenne. Recalibration is the 22nd, 23rd. We come home late that night, being that the weather allows us to travel back. I mean, I'll be very clear. And then February, we'll go down on that Saturday, which is the 21st, correct?
Yes.
And we will return on the 23rd.
So Charles, just for clarity on the recalibration, I don't think they're gonna let everybody talk that wants to talk, but we can set in on sessions, is that correct?
So recalibration, you're absolutely, there'll be opportunities for public comment, which it'll be those of you that traveled with me, we will get there early. So there's Charles time and then there's legislative time. So that we get seats, we're not sitting in the back, and then usually they give an opportunity for public comment. They have said that they will try to listen to everybody, but sometimes they put a cap on it. So depending on where that. So we have had an ability to do public comment in the past, but a lot of that has to do with conversations individually with leadership in between breaks. So that's what that does look like, yes.
For whatever it's worth, the last two I've been to, I was able to testify at both when they called for public comment. But that doesn't mean we won't have 10 times the number of attendees in Cheyenne, and they got to cut it for time reasons. So far, we've been able to testify basically at will when they call for public comment. Whether that remains true or not is pretty.
I'm gonna guess what they'll do what Charles said, and they'll limit you to, depending on the number of people that want to speak, probably 5 to 10 minutes.
And the conversation they usually have coming in, if you're repeating something that somebody's already said, then we don't want to.
Please don't.
So it's only bringing new stuff to the table. Legislative forum, usually School Boards Association does a great job of, they will have the draft bills in front of them explaining to all of us. And then the next day when you go to the Capitol, you have an opportunity to see what's happening. You'll also be introduced at the House and the Senate. You'll get to visit some of those committee meetings and some of those things. However, Travis and the board, this doesn't mean those are the only 2 trips down to Cheyenne.
No, certainly not.
It probably doesn't help with family life and committing to family, so I get that. But I do believe there's sometimes more important to be in person than to do a virtual testimony, so there could be the potential of more of those throughout the session.
Please.
Just as an aside, having been to several of those, trying to get in virtually is super difficult and can be incredibly frustrating. So
They had several cut out on them and do strange technology things.
But yeah, it's an opportunity. And we're gonna take it one day at a time. I appreciate what Tamith has to say is about being prepared, but I have to be honest with you, we can't tell our story until we know the story that we have to tell, because we don't know where they're at right now. We have a projection, but we haven't even seen the draft bills yet. So they directed the LSO to draft some bills, but we haven't been privileged to what the actual details of those bills are yet. So, okay.
Is there a deadline? Do we have a time that you need to know who's attending what?
As soon as possible.
I was gonna say, it's gotta be quick now. We're going in January, so this first one is soon as you can, and the second one will be not far. Okay, anybody got anything else on any of that business? January special work session will be at the BHS auditorium. We'll start at 5:15. The first hour will be for public comment on the size of the ward. After that, we'll go into the regular agenda, which I shall get put together. And we'll go from there. Questions, thoughts? There? None. January regular meeting, January 12th here at admin, 6 p.m. It'll be the result of the work session. Whatever you guys tell me is on the agenda for that one, so what we'll do then. All right, public comment? Any public comment this evening? Hearing none, I take a motion to enter executive session for Wyoming Statute 16-4-405, Sections A and II and III for personnel and legal reasons. Got a motion, Marcia, second? Katie? Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye on discussion. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Adios.
You're gonna turn this off, you want me to?
I can't. So should I email that you're planning to send? Had a little bit of that.
I have the.
So you take the notes and executive.
Put them in there.
And you stick the notes in there.
Is it the hybrid storage? I don't want to guess what.
So sit by, she'll teach you.